Hey guys, so I'll be doing a quick review and giveaway of this 32-piece presser foot by MadamSew. It's a set of different presser feet that you can use with a domestic machine. And I'm going to start off by just talking about my first impressions of the item and what's inside. So let's get started. So this was sent to me by MadamSew, and shipping was really quick. I received the item in maybe about 2 days or so. The set comes with a booklet that tells you what the 32 pieces are and what stitches you can accomplish using them. So it's illustrated. They also have a digital manual that you can access online. So for size reference, this is the size of the box. It has the 32 feet inside it. And it comes in this really well organized, sturdy plastic container. And I kind of like that because currently, before using something like this, I actually store my zipper feet in a Ziploc bag, so it's kind of unorganized and kind of tacky. So once you open up the box, you'll see 32 feet organized by number, and you can look in the booklet to see what the number means. So my first impression is that this is a quality product. The feet are well made and they're mostly made of metal. So here's a sample I made. This is a sample in miniature. This is not a full-size garment. Basically what I have here, I have mocked up an example of a skirt, and you have your waistband here on the top, and then this you have to pretend this is your skirt. It could also be a pair of pants, it could also be shorts, but anything that has a waistband applied on it, you can use this foot to clean finish your waistband on the outside. So what we're going to do for this one, we're going to look at the number 27 foot, which is your stitch in the ditch foot. It's also called an edge joining foot. So that's number 27 in the box. So before we jump into sewing machine demo, I'm going to show you the foot up close so you can see how it is to be used. Here's a close-up of the stitch in the ditch foot, and this is the bottom of the foot which comes in contact with the fabric. And over here there's a sharp metallic piece that kind of slides into the existing seam to give you a really nice and clean top stitch. That's what makes it a stitch in the ditch foot. So ditch is another name for seam, and I'm going to show you up close on the sample skirt how to position this foot such that the needle goes directly inside the existing seam. So here's our sample skirt, and that's the foot we're going to be using. Now I'm going to run my nail across the existing seam where the waistband connects to the skirt. It's right here, as you can see. And this is the correct side of the garment. So I've written R for right, which means this is the side of the garment that the world is going to see. And if I flip it, that's the wrong side of the garment that your body is going to touch, okay? So I've already stitched the waistband to the garment, and I went ahead, pressed the seam allowance up. So it's already been pressed up. And the waistband is basically doubled up on itself. So that's the full line. This is the top of the garment. And now what we're going to do a stitch in the ditch on the correct side of the garment to clean finish this. So I'm going to flip it back over. So the next thing we're going to do is take this to the sewing machine, and I'll show you how we position this foot such that the needle always goes inside the ditch and you almost don't see it when you're done. So I've done two things so far. I installed the presser foot onto my machine, and I also lowered it onto the fabric, positioning the fabric such that the metal protrusion is embedded inside this seam. The next thing I'm going to do is reposition my needle so that it's in the middle of the presser foot and also in line with this metallic piece. And once I do that, I'm going to lower the needle manually to make sure it's in the right place. It's still a little bit to the left, so I'm going to move it to the right. And a little bit more. And now it seems to be right in the middle of the seam. So my needle is going into the seam now. The next thing you want to do is go ahead and start stitching slowly in the beginning to make sure that your needle is going inside the seam and not to the right, not to the left. So let me go ahead and do that. I'll do 1 or 2 manually, and then I'll go ahead and give it some gas. So I'm going to really slowly go ahead and start stitching. So what's happening now is that metallic piece is kind of staying inside that ditch, and it's kind of keeping your fabric in place. Okay, so we'll have a look at what that looks like now. So as you can see now, the green thread or the top stitch is sitting inside the existing seam, so this is perfect. And this is what you're going to do for the entirety of your waistband. So let's look at the back side. So on the back side, you'll see that the blue thread here is the bobbin thread, and I chose to serge the bottom of the waistband and leave it hanging. But the other option you have, if you want to make this even more professional looking, what you can do, you can actually take the seam allowance and turn it under to conceal the original stitch, like that. And if you were to do this, then when you're top stitching from the correct side, you're basically going to catch both layers in the back. So it'll look very similar on the front and the back. So I'll wrap up this video by saying that I do like this piece. It's well built and sturdy. If you want to enter to win this piece, then I'm including all the directions on how to enter down below. It's going to be held on my Instagram page. And also, if you don't win, which I hope you do, this is a really good bargain. This item is priced at $59, and I've purchased 3 of these feet individually, and I've spent $28 on just 3 pieces. So this is definitely a bargain piece, but quality. Lastly, I hope that you found this review helpful, and please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.